Today I'm going to show you how I make these reflective background screens for the Casio F91-W, or in this case, F84-W. So in the interest of time, I've already taken the actual module out of a watch. If you don't know how to do that, watch any of my other videos and I go through it. We're going to take this apart. The first thing you have to know is there are these 4 clips around the edge here. And all you have to do, you can see they just kind of hook onto the plastic here. All you have to do is pop those off. I'm gonna use my little handy dandy knife. And one at a time, they come up real easy. Come on, you. And once I've got these off, my advice to you is work in an area where you have some free space like I've got here, so you can always remember which side is up and which side is down, because I've really had moments where when I was first started out doing this, I didn't know how to reassemble what I had taken apart. Anyway, so you saw I took this backing off because I'd opened the clips. This is the actual, electronics. You just have to find a spot on the edge where you can get underneath with your fingernails or a pair of tweezers, pull that off, and I'm already at the screen assembly here. So this little conducting piece of rubber, it's either going to fall out or you can take it out. I'm just going to leave it in because it'll probably fall out by itself. It's kind of a pain in the ass. You have to be aware of that piece. If you don't put it back in, the watch isn't going to work. But what I like to do is, and I hope the camera picks up on this okay, on the back here, you see there's this little bridge right here. If I stick my fingernail right in here on top of this bridge, I can pull down and it frees the screen. So when I pull down, you can maybe see how flexible that is. Once it's down, I can just push the screen up and it slides. It's also tucked into the plastic up here, but it will just slide right out like that. Next, there is a little plastic film that I'm not really sure what it does, but you don't need it. You can put that aside. I have like a million of them from other watches I've modded. And then you get to this really cool looking mirror back. What we're going to do with that is cut it off. Pick a corner and wiggle your blade underneath it ever so gently. And just like taking off any other sticker, you peel it off. It's a little bit finicky, and I do want to mention, because this is the actual screen, it's best to hold it by the edges. And if you do hold it like this, do not apply too much pressure, because it's possible to damage the screen and have certain cells not working anymore, and then your display just looks really funky. And it will be a shame. So do your best. Be mindful that this top part is very thin too, so don't break that either. But I'm just going to find a corner like I've got now, work my blade underneath it, and just wiggle it in until it's up high enough that I can pull it off the screen. Fair warning, I don't know if you can see these 3 little dots up there. Once this backing is off, that's what you're going to use to orient yourself, to know which side is front and which side is the back when you reassemble the screen. Oop. Anyway, that's off. And now, because this is I think it's the older one, look at all that horrible glue on there. What you do here is you apply some alcohol, you get a Q-tip, and then you just clean it off. This will take a while, so I'm not going to show the full process, but you literally just clean off the glue with a Q-tip. I suppose you could use glue gun. I personally haven't tried it. I try not to use anything too abrasive on these. Like if I were to use acetone, for example, I'm pretty sure the screen might just melt away on me. But I use a Q-tip and I do my best to just clean off all the adhesive I see. You know, not too much pressure, because like I said, you'll damage the assembly. And eventually, once I've got enough of that cleaned off, I'll take a piece of tissue paper, stick the screen inside of it, and gently rub it between my fingers to dry it off and see which parts still need a little more cleaning. So I'm gonna get back to cleaning this, and I'm gonna make a cut, and then I'll see you when I'm done cleaning the screen off. This might take like 10-15 minutes, and I don't want to subject you to watching me do that. So I'll see you on the other side. All right, so I finished cleaning it. You can see now it's nice and clear with no residue. Might have a fingerprint on it. Normally I do this with gloves, but it's a lot more finicky and it's easier for me to show you without gloves. Next, what I'm going to use today is I have this really cool reflective vinyl foil that I got off of Amazon. It came in a set with like a bunch of different ones, so it's kind of expensive. So if you just want to... I do sell pieces that go behind the screen on my Etsy store if you don't want to buy like a whole set for $40 from different manufacturers. I sell pre-cut ones, but what I did is I basically cut one to size. The size you need is 11 by 21 millimeters. What's really important when you do this is that the sticker, whatever the backing is, covers the whole dark area of the screen, but this top strip at the top where it kind of gets skinnier, I don't know if you can see that, the top part here has to stay clear because that's where the screen makes contact with that conductive rubber, and if that's blocked, you're not going to have anything on the screen. You're going to be tearing your hair out wondering, why isn't it working? So make sure that that stays clear. Next, what I do is I pull the protective plastic off the vinyl, peel that off. All you have to do is put it behind the screen and reassemble it. So here's the screen. So we're gonna put in the film first because it's gonna be behind there, right? Next, we're gonna take our module assembly, whatever you wanna call it, and you'll see there's a little lip at the top of the plastic. We're doing the same thing we did to take it apart, obviously just in reverse. So slide this underneath that top lip, lift the bottom piece, and it clicks right into place. The cool thing is, back is open, so if the filter screen shifts, you can literally just move it back here, and you don't want to use adhesive. I have a screen where I used adhesive, and the glue is totally visible. I don't know how well you can see that. So it's best not to glue these guys together. Next, take the rubber bit that I talked about earlier, the conductive strip, put it back into place. And now just one piece at a time, reassemble the module, movement, whatever you want to call it. Click all the hooks back into place. And make sure you've got them all. Battery light is working. Make sure the screen is facing the right direction. And I think I've done everything correctly, so I just have to let this sit for a little while, and it will come back to me, believe it or not.
A few moments later.
So it's been about 20 minutes. I came back, and the display is completely working again. And now it's got the cool reflective background. So I don't know what it is. Sometimes it just needs a little time to come back to itself, but there it is. Thank you for watching, and happy modding.